Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, just stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who see the picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shift your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS.
Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street.
Good morning, Bahamas, and good morning, world, and welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift. Can you guys hear me? Because this says on my computer, mic is muted. You guys can hear me? You can hear me? Okay, great. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a tremendous pleasure to be in your company today. Now, y'all may notice that I little dress up today. I got on my little pearls and my pink pashmina and my green dress, and there is a very specific reason for that, and that is because today is a momentous day for the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, because my soror, Kamala Harris, is about to make history, or should I say herstory, by becoming the first woman and the first woman of color and the first woman of Caribbean descent to advance to the position of Vice President of the United States of America. Skiwi, my soror. We are immensely proud of Soror Kamala and what she has been able to accomplish. And women around the world are wearing pearls in solidarity. But for us, members of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, pearls have a very significant meaning because we call our founders the 20 pearls. And so whenever we AKAs have something special going on, we got to don the pearls, we got to pull out the pearls, because pearls represent wisdom and sophistication. And when you think about what it takes to create a pearl, then you understand that a pearl is something special. And so we salute our soror today. We say kudos, soror, skiwi, all that good stuff. Congratulations on taking women to the highest height that they have gone to in the United States of America as it relates to the arena of politics. And we know you're going to do great things in that position. Another reason why today is a momentous day is because today is the launch of the 6th Region Global Chamber of Commerce. My dear friend, Dr. Melida Harris Barrow, is the person who founded that Global Chamber of Commerce, and today it officially launches. You may recall that I would have announced some time back that I was offered an international platform to do a podcast on a global platform. Well, that invitation was extended to me by Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. And today, the 6th Region Global Chamber of Commerce launches. And in short order, I will be doing a weekly show on that platform. So huge congratulations to you, Dr. Melida. And I'm going to see you in that starts at 1:30. And I will be moderating that particular program at 1:30 p.m. And then the third reason why this is a momentous day is because Paul Kroto is my guest. Let me introduce you to this gentleman by the name of Paul Kroto. Paul Kroto is the co-founder and managing director of the Institute of Holistic Health. And you would have heard me talk about the Institute of Holistic Health because that is the institute through which I have been certified as an holistic health coach. And so this man right here is responsible for my madness as it relates to being completely sold out on the benefits of therapeutic nutrition. Paul Kroto, it is an honor to have you here. Welcome to GPS.
Well, thank you. And the honor is all mine. So excited to be here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I am calling this show today From Resolution to Reality, How to Achieve Optimal Health in 2021, because New Year, New Year's resolution, and on the top of everybody's list, I want to get in shape, and I want to lose weight, and I want to eat healthier, and I want to do this, and I want to do the next. And then around by this time in January, those resolutions start to slip away. By February, they're a distant memory. And so what we want to do is we want to show people or give people concrete steps that they can take to achieve optimal health in 2021, because never before in modern history has protecting your health been more important than it is now. Thanks to COVID-19. Everybody, this is a great time to be in the health business because, as you know, Paul, everybody concerned about their health now. People who were checking before, like, you still doing that vitamin thing, Michelle?
Yeah.
So this is the time. But everybody around the world right now is concerned about their health. And I have to tell you this before we dive in. The Bahamas has one of the highest rates of COVID deaths per capita. And let me tell you why. Because the Bahamas is one of the sickest nations in the world. We lead the world in the prevalence of diabetes. We're right up there with hypertension, heart disease, cancer. I mean, you name it, we got it. Very, very sick nation. And so this is an important conversation because our people have to understand or learn what it's going to take to get yourself healthier so that you do not have to walk in fear of COVID-19, because fear, worry, anxiety damage the immune system. And the last thing you need is a weakened immune system. So what are some of the things, Paul? Let's go step by step by step. If I woke up today and I decided, you know what, this is the year for me to become healthier, but I don't know where to begin, what's the first step that I should take?
Well, Michelle, it's an excellent question. And everything you said is so true in the world today. So this broadcast of yours can't come at a better time or a more important time than today. And really where I want to start, Michelle, and where I start my clients and people I talk to on a daily basis is the message of hope. That it all starts with understanding that the potential's there. So whatever your goal is for 2021 or, health-wise or otherwise, it's you can do it. So it's saying I can. That's where I believe everything starts from, is a message of I can get healthy. I can lose weight. I can.
Yeah. Mindset. Yeah.
Mindset. Yeah. Because so many people, they make these New Year's resolutions, but they either, consciously or subconsciously are saying to themselves, I doubt I can actually do that. So, and maybe other people can, but I can't. And there's, as I've mentioned to you before, Michelle, it's estimated that the average person thinks 80,000 thoughts a day, and 65,000 of them are negative. So there's a lot of negative thinking going on out there. So I really believe, Michelle, it starts with understanding that the potential is there, and start saying, I can do this. I can do that. And that's absolutely where it has to start.
Yeah. We have a major problem with obesity here in the Bahamas. And oftentimes, well, especially since COVID, people who are battling with that have reached out to me in a panic. What do you have to help me lose weight? And one of the things I always say to people, and this is somebody speaking from experience because I personally have lost 56 pounds. But what I've learned is that you don't lose weight to become healthy. You become healthy to lose weight. Can you explain that to them, Paul?
Absolutely. And, a lot of people, they subscribe to this notion that the number one priority in weight loss is calorie restriction, and to count calories. No question, that is important. You cannot eat more calories than you burn to lose weight. That's just common sense. But really what I found over the past 30 years working with people in the area of weight loss is that it's more important. The number one priority is to count nutrients as opposed to counting calories. So what our body is doing on a moment-to-moment basis is doing a scan. So it's always scanning our bodies, and it's checking to see, do I have enough vitamin A? Do I have enough vitamin B? Do I have enough vitamin C? And the list goes on and on and on, all the way through all 90 essential nutrients. So I was getting my master's degree in nutrition. Every single college book out there, every single medical book out there, it says in the book that there's 90 essential nutrients. That in these, what I mean by that is the government or the World Health Organization has deemed 90 nutrients as nutrients that our body must have on a daily basis, but it can't make it itself. For instance, vitamin D, like we can't make it ourselves. We have to get it from someplace. So we can get it from the sun or from foods we eat or something. You got to get it in your body. So there's 90 of these nutrients that are deemed essential, but are also deemed a nutrient that our bodies cannot make on its own. So we must get this from some outside source. And what's happening is our bodies are doing the scan, seeing that, oh, you're lacking this, and that. Go eat food. So we go out and eat food, and I used to do this all the time. I go out and so you just eat a Big Mac, or some kind of bad food out there because you're hungry and you're having these cravings, and you eat this food and it's probably bad, and there's no nutrients in it. So your body says, nope, that didn't work. Go eat more food.
Wow.
Maybe the next thing you eat will have the things we're missing. And so you eat that, and that didn't have it either. And we're, a lot of us have even gone to the point where we understand that, and we're trying to eat healthier. So I bought one of those, $600 Vitamix blenders, and I shop at all organic places and buy organic fruits and vegetables. I did all that stuff, and come to learn from my research that there's simply no vitamins or minerals in the soil anymore. There's an 85% depletion in our soil around the world, which causes, if there's no nutrients in the soil, there's no nutrients in our fruits and vegetables. So we live this lie of, oh, I'm eating healthy, I'm eating organic. Well, organic means there's no pesticides on it, which is awesome, because that's a whole other topic, Michelle.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that it contains any nutrients or the amount of nutrients that we're thinking it contains. So we're just a very, very nutrient deficient world right now. And that is what is the root cause of all of these health problems, including obesity. If we're not getting those nutrients, we're eating food and our bodies are not running the way it's supposed to. We're always hungry. We always have these weird cravings. And what I found with all of my clients 100% of the time is that once you get them these 90 essential nutrients in the right amounts for that person, all the cravings go away, all the health problems go away, and they just go back to eating like normal, like not trying to eat so much food. I mean, here in America, we just, our big number one problem is we eat too much food. And it's primarily because all the cravings we're having.
Wow. So in essence, what you're saying, this is fascinating, that the reason why some people are constantly hungry is because their body is craving the nutrients. And unfortunately, we don't get it in the foods anymore. My grandparents my grandparents lived on one of the islands here in the Bahamas. Well, several islands, but my grandmother was from Cat Island, and that's where she met my grandfather. And they used to do a lot of farming. He was the schoolmaster, but she did a lot of farming. And back in the day, they had this technique called slash and burn. And so what they would do is, after they would have harvested the produce, they would slash the trees, the plants, and burn them. And as we've learned from Dr. Joel Wallach, that ash, what we called ash, was actually minerals that were put back into the soil. Mm-hmm. So everything that they grew from that soil was mineral rich. Nowadays, because of modern farming techniques, because of the depletion of soils through things like hurricanes, that we're in the hurricane belt here in the Bahamas, and every time that that water washes through, and it's washing away whatever nutrients are left in that soil. So I come across people all the time who say, "Oh, Michelle, I don't need to supplement. I eat very healthy," and then I ask them, "So how's that working for you?" Because oftentimes these people are still having health issues, and it's because it is impossible for you to eat sufficient food to get the 90 nutrients that you need at the level that you need through food alone. It is physically impossible. It's literally impossible. So a lot of people have been fooled into thinking that all I have to do is just eat eat well, eat organic, eat, but yet they're still facing medical issues, and that explains why. Now, another thing I want to talk about, Paul, is another reason why our bodies gain weight. And I think that this was, apart from what you just explained in terms of the nutrients, I think this is one of the reasons what caused me to gain so much weight. Because at my highest, I went up to like just under 200 pounds. And I'm only 5 feet 5 inches tall. And everybody who knows me from way back in the day is always Skinny Michelle, Skinny Michelle. I was always a very tiny person. And I could not understand why I could not stop gaining weight. I wasn't eating more. I tried exercising, all of that, but I could not stop gaining weight. And I'm like, what in the world? Long story short, come to find out, I was being exposed to a very dangerous toxin.
Mm-hmm.
I was exposed to black mold. I was living in that for 17 months. And when I went to the United States to detox, I found a clinic in Ohio where I went to detox. I spent about 3 weeks there. One of the things that I learned that was very surprising to me is that your body, listen, people, your body is a very intelligent machine. And what happens is when these toxins get into your system, your body has to find some place to store the toxin in an effort to protect your organs.
Mm-hmm.
So it treats fat cells as storage containers.
Yeah.
So the more toxins you are exposed to, the more storage containers your body creates in an effort to find some place to store the toxin. Same thing with acid. If you have a highly acidic body, your body will find a place to store that acid. Can you break it down for our audience, Paul? The importance of understanding why you may be gaining weight, apart from what you just explained about your body lacking nutrients and you're being hungry all the time. Because some people, that's not the case. Some people can't stop gaining weight for reasons what I just mentioned. But what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's so huge, Michelle. And it's a major topic in weight loss is this topic of detoxing your cells. Like you said, your body goes in defensive mode when it has toxins inside of it. And it has very, very smart, as you mentioned, and it protects, it stores those toxins in cells and kind of wraps it around in a fluid-like substance that causes inflammation. We call that inflammation in our bodies. And
inflammation is bad news.
Yeah, massive inflammation causes all sorts of health problems. We're seeing that, that people that have, where we ask the question, well, why are some people, having more adverse reactions to COVID than other people? And the major reason is the amount of inflammation in their body. And inflammation comes, as you mentioned, from toxins. So, and it doesn't need to be just black mold. That's one toxin, obviously, it's super bad. But even things like diet pop, like aspartame and those type of things where millions of people think that, I'll just drink a diet soda or something that contains no calories. So I must be losing weight because it doesn't have any calories in it. But they don't understand the artificial ingredients in those products that your body, anything that's not natural, your body treats as a foreign substance. And it must deal with that. And that's one of my big things about prescription drugs. This is not natural. A prescription drug is not something that's naturally found in your body. So as soon as it enters your body goes into overdrive to get rid of that substance. And that goes for any drug or substance that's artificial to your body. So we want, we're all about all natural, staying healthy, fixing things the right way, finding the root cause of things, and understanding, like you said, that toxins are in our bodies. We must get rid of them. And there's a whole protocol that we believe in to help people reduce these toxins in their body. Number one being a simple mineral that doesn't cost much at all, called selenium, which the research behind this one little mineral and what it does to clean out cells in our body and remove toxins is unbelievable. So there's so many things that can be done naturally to remove these toxins from our body, but it really starts with reducing toxic load. To understand that even things we put on our skin, lotion, makeup, anything that's we put on our skin can contain chemicals. And it takes, I think, like 26 seconds to enter your bloodstream. So anything you put on your skin goes immediately into your bloodstream. And your bloodstream senses there's something foreign in it, and then goes into protective mode to get that out of the bloodstream and put it into some place that it can store it and protect it and isolate it away from everything else, so it doesn't cause major havoc in your system.
Mhm.
So again, your body's extremely smart in all this, but we have got to get these first of all, reduce toxic load, use all natural things. I wash all my clothes in all natural organic laundry detergent. All my household products are all 100% organic. There's no chemicals. All the foods I eat, I make sure are clean. There's no chemicals in any of those. So the more organic you start living, the more clean you start living, the less toxins you have to get rid of in your body, and the less work you have to do. But we're all massively toxic loaded right now, and that's causing, all types of. It's the underlying cause for cancer, heart disease, and so many other health problems that are out there. Is the toxins in our body. And there's a great book out there called Detox or Die, and it outlines how much of a critical subject this is in our bodies, and that most people are completely, ignorant to.
Wow. Fascinating stuff. Acidity is also a very big problem. Back in some years ago, before I was introduced to the Youngevity health program, I started having these like dull ache pains in my chest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, wow, maybe I have a heart condition. And so eventually it got so bad that I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I finally decided to go to see a doctor. And she ran a whole bunch of tests on me. And then she says, you have acid reflux. I was like, what? And that scared the living daylights out of me, because I remember seeing an interview or reading somewhere where they said that disease cannot exist in an alkaline environment. The more acidic your body, the more prone you are to diseases like cancer.
Yes.
And so I was like, now, Michelle, if your body is this acidic to be causing pain in your chest, this is a wake up call.
Yes.
I decided at that moment to start to move towards becoming more alkaline.
Yep.
Now, what does the doctor do? She did what doctors do, prescribe medication, because as we have learned through the Institute of Holistic Health, what the MD professions do is they manage illness. And so her answer to me was Nexium. Here, go take this Nexium. And I took it for the first 3 days because I really wanted relief. And then I made the decision to read that label. And when I read the label, I said, oh, no, sweet girl, you ain't going to be taking any more of this. And I went online to Google how to become alkaline and found some stuff and started following that. And not only did the acid reflux go away, but all of a sudden I started losing weight. I'm like, I wonder if this has anything to do with this alkaline thing. And sure enough, I Googled, Dr. Google, and they said that, that's a part of weight loss. And now we know, because again, your body creates fat cells to store acid. So if you're not acid anymore, your body's like, well, I don't need these fat cells anymore. I might as well get rid of this.
Yeah.
But I was able to do that without the medication. And we often talk about it in the continuing education classes that we have through the Institute, that because their main goal is to manage illness, that's what they do. They will prescribe medication. And you have to get to the point where you understand that you have a role to play in your health. You cannot, and I have to be very careful how I say this, but let me put it this way. The MDs have done a really good job of positioning themselves to be the experts and the only ones that you should ever listen to as it relates to your health. And my thing is this: if their methodologies were so effective, then why are people sicker and sicker and sicker?
Yeah.
Clearly, there's a missing link there.
Yeah.
And so we have to take responsibility for our health. What do you say to that?
Well, Michelle, let me just explain the insanity to people of what just happened to you. So if you were to take the Nexium and put it in water and measure the pH of it, the pH level is 1. Now, the pH scale goes from 1 to 14, 1 being extremely acidic. And your body must be at 7.2. So it's like your temperature is 98.6. There's all these numbers. Blood pressure must be a certain amount. So all these numbers that our body wants to maintain all the time. It has to. So to fix an acid problem, let's give you one of the most acidic substances in the entire planet to fix it. And it's just crazy. I mean, it's what causes the problem. So it's insane. And we're not, we're drinking, people drink, well, I'm drinking orange juice. It's super healthy. Well, it's one of the most acidic things you can do to your body is to drink fruit juice.
Really?
And, it's the stress levels out there that are producing mass amounts of acid in people's bodies. Even working out, something that we look at as being something extremely good, which it is. Everyone in the world should be working out, exercising every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But it produces acid, and we must understand that exercise without supplementation is suicide. So yes, you should exercise, absolutely, but you also need to take supplements. Supplements have a very, very extremely high alkaline value to them. When you're taking in vitamins and minerals, you see the alkaline levels of 8, 9, 10, like some things that are very alkaline that can counteract the acid levels and bring your pH level back up to 7.2 where it needs to be. Now, if your body is not at 7.2, what it does is it goes to the most vast reserve in your body of alkalinity, which is your bones. So your bones, which is made up of calcium, it's our major calcium storage, is extremely alkaline. So it takes stores from our bones, puts it into the blood system to counteract the acidic levels in our bodies right now caused by, again, stress and drugs and all kinds of things that cause acid in our bodies. And then we get things like osteoporosis and major bone problems. I've got thousands upon thousands of clients a year that get hip replacements or knee replacements or something replaced.
I come across
just think that that's normal. Well, I'm just getting older and I need a new hip. You're 45, 50 years old. What do you mean you're getting older? It's crazy.
Exactly. I come across so many people and I'm like, you can regrow cartilage. But anyway, okay, I have to take a quick break. When I come back, I want to talk about supplementation and making people understand that not all supplements are created equal. And also, it's not about what you read on that label. It's about what your body can absorb.
Yes.
Absorb is huge, people. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS, Global Paradigm Shift. We'll be back. For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466. At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing Fast-Acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Youngevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, While our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Youngevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
The GPS Global Paradigm Shift. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. My guest today is Paul Kroto. We are talking moving from resolution to reality, how to achieve optimal health in 2021. And we're gonna be bringing you some real knowledge today, people. Stuff that you're not going to hear mainstream. That will help you to understand why you may be struggling with things like, being overweight or long-term high blood pressure, all this kind of stuff. And by the end of this show, you're going to have so much information that you can send the check in the mail to. No, I'm only kidding. But but you will find that that we're going to be giving you a lot of information today that can and will change your life if applied. So all supplements are not created equal. You have to understand, people, that there is, trying to find a diplomatic way to say this, but it's almost like there is this conspiracy to keep us unwell. And here's what I mean by that. Did you know that big pharma, pharmaceutical companies, not only do they own the seed companies, so they've taken over the agriculture industry. So much of the foods that you're eating are genetically modified because big pharma has taken that over. But did you know that big pharma is also in the business of nutritional supplements? Yeah. Companies like Bayer, DuPont, Monsanto, these companies, Bayer, DuPont, etc., they own pharmaceutical, they're obviously, working along with pharmaceutical companies, but they also own nutritional lines. So if you look at, for instance, One A Day, that is produced by Bayer. Bayer is big pharma. So they're getting you one way or the other. They've taken over the agriculture industry. So the foods that you're eating are genetically modified, and your body does not know what to do with genetically modified foods because as far as your body's concerned, that's not real food. So you're not getting the nutrients. Your body doesn't know how to assimilate it properly. And then on top of that, they obviously are working with the pharmaceuticals and the medical professional. And now they swinging you into believing that these nutrients that you're taking, these vitamins that you're taking that you bought over the counter are actually doing something. Truth be told, they only have an absorbability rate of 10 to 12% because they have been formulated, most of them, from the minerals in their raw state. So it's not about what's on that label on that bottle. It's about what your body can absorb. And the big difference between what Youngevity, for instance, offers is plant-derived nutrition, plant-derived minerals, as opposed to minerals in their raw state. How important, Paul, is it for you to understand, number one, the source of the vitamins that you're taking, number two, the absorbability rate, and number three, your body's ability to absorb these nutrients? Because if you have and we're going to get into that in a bit, if you have a damaged digestive system, chances are you're not absorbing what you think you are. And this is why you may be taking supplements and not getting any results. So explain for our audience the difference in terms of the quality of nutrition.
Well, Michelle, what I really want to do is just quickly address your pharmaceutical reference there. The pharmaceutical industry, there's 5 companies in the Fortune 500 list that are pharmaceutical companies. The profits of those 5 companies added together are higher than the other 495 companies in the Fortune 500 combined.
Wow.
Yeah, it's people don't understand how big of a problem this is. And Michelle, to be fair to them, if you and I owned a pharmaceutical company right now, and we were sitting here this morning, we're talking, hey, Michelle, how do we up how do we increase our profits this year? It's 2021. We need some more money. Our stockholders want more money. How do we make more money? Well, and this is going to sound like a conspiracy issue, but let's just all put ourselves in their shoes for a second. How could we make more sick people? I mean, you don't sell drugs unless you have people who need drugs.
Yeah.
And people have gone to as far as wondering how this coronavirus came about, and all of a sudden there's a problem and not new problem. And then all of a sudden there's a new solution that's going to be worth trillions of dollars. But we have to create more of a problem. If we're owning a pharmaceutical company, we have to create a problem. And we know that all disease, and I want to emphasize the word all disease, all sickness, all illness comes from a nutrient deficiency. Period. The end. You're missing something. Your body's not running the way it's supposed to. Something's out of whack. So what happens is, the pharmaceutical companies understand that the whole main part of the human body is your digestive system. That's where everything gets absorbed. So if we can somehow go to the main core of the body and disrupt that, then if they do take some sort of nutrients or get nutrients somehow, it won't be absorbed. And if it's not absorbed, it's going to lead to some sort of illness. And in everybody, it shows up differently. Some people get high blood pressure. Some people get this. Some people get that. Some people get that. It all shows up in different people, different ways. But the bottom line is that it's an illness, and it all is stemmed from a lack of one or more of these 90 essential nutrients. So we have got to make the digestive system less functionable in people's bodies, and that, of course, will lead to more illness. So they're not stupid. They know all of this, and the whole move to genetically modified foods. Gluten is the worst thing you could possibly eat. The first few letters of gluten is glue, and it works like glue to the villi in your intestines, which absolutely blocks the absorption of nutrients. And it doesn't matter how good of nutrients you're taking or how good you think you're eating. If you're eating gluten and your digestive system is compromised, you cannot absorb nutrients, which means you're going to get sick. You cannot have a strong immune system, because we know that the digestive system, the gut, is 70% of our immune system. So again, why are some people getting more sick than others with COVID? Well, it's because some people have stronger immune systems than others. And again, 70% of your immune system is your gut. So some people have a better, more healthier gut than other people do. So we have to look at the core first, like you mentioned, and understand that is where we must address first. And the first step to doing that is going gluten-free, watching for GMO foods, eating organic, or I only eat organic chicken, organic steak, organic eggs is my go-to. Any fruits and vegetables I do eat, all organic. So it's got to be a movement towards that. Again, the movement towards only putting natural things on your body. So we're not, because all of these toxins we put on our bodies, or even wash our clothes in toxic laundry detergent, ends up being absorbed into our bodies and does land up in the digestive system, which causes it to not function as well.
Wow. So, okay, you just mashed my corn. I got to go check out some stuff that I'm using on my body that are not all natural. Wow. Oh, that's deep, Paul. Okay, I want to go to a Facebook comment. This one is from Basil Lightborn. It says, Michelle, what is a good one-a-day vitamin a man can take? I'm going to let a man answer that question for you.
Spoken like a true man. Yeah. No, it doesn't matter if you're man, woman, child. So what you want to look for, and what happens out there is that, Bear, one a day, thing like that, they come across great commercials and stuff. But if you look at the number of nutrients in that product, it's nowhere near 90 that you must have. And it's in a form that's unabsorbable. It's unnatural. Like you mentioned, it's not plant derived. And the amounts in it is a joke. I mean, it's got 5 milligrams of this, 10 milligrams of that. Our bodies need way more nutrients than we make it out to be, or that you'll hear from the mainstream media or sources online. So, as you said, we've partnered. We at the Institute of Holistic Health, which we've created as being a place people can go to get the truth, to learn the real way to get healthy So the Institute of Holistic Health does recommend products from a company called Youngevity. And Youngevity is really a company that goes out and has an umbrella of 22 different companies below it. So what the owners do of Youngevity is they go out and they find the best health products out there from different lines, whether it be cleaning products or herbal products or nutrition products, whatever it is. They go out there and they find the very best of the best and bring them on board. And they formed a great conglomerate of companies together that are the best of the most premier health and wellness products in the world out there. Some of them are actually made by the company Youngevity, but most of them are actually not made by them. At the Institute of Holistic Health, that's the product line that's the umbrella we recommend, that again contains about 22 different brands of different companies that they've gone out and researched. I've gone out and done the research on myself that are the highest quality out there, absorbable with a 98% absorption rate. So not only does it matter how healthy your gut is, that's step number one, but now the next question is how absorbable is the actual product? And they put it in forms that make it completely unabsorbable. And you're actually being kind, Michelle, when you're giving them, 10 or 12% absorption rate. From my research, I see more single digits, 2 to 8% absorption rate.
Wow.
Where all the products that I've researched with the company Youngevity that are under the Youngevity umbrella do have that 98% absorption rate. So when it says 1,000 milligrams of calcium, you're literally getting 1,000 milligrams of calcium. Most products that say 1,000 milligrams of calcium, you're getting, 10, 20 milligrams maybe absorbed into your body. So absorption is a big part of it. So you can't, like you said, you just can't pay attention to the label, because just because the label says it has 1,000 milligrams of this does not mean you're going to absorb 1,000 milligrams of that. So my favorite thing is products that are in liquid form, like you said, plant derived. So Youngevity carries a host of products that are in liquid form that our bodies can actually get into the bloodstream fast, absorb through our bodies, or into a crystal powder form. That also you take the powder and put it into water, and then it's just a dry form of the liquid that gets into our bodies instantaneously, and you can feel the difference instantaneously as well.
Fascinating stuff. I have seen so many people who have been battling chronic ailments on medication for years, and even the physician's efforts to manage their illness is not doing very well because they can't get off of this medication. And after a week, 2 weeks, in some instances, something like high blood pressure, I have seen people with that condition in a couple of weeks after being on therapeutic nutrition, getting results that they have been unable to get. Sorry, my microphone is too far away. Through traditional means. And I often explain to people that it's like, if we talk about nutrition being the fuel that your body needs to function, I compare it to a car. If you're driving a car and you're doing everything you're supposed to do with that car, you're giving it the oil changes when it needs to get it, you're giving it its tune-ups, you're constantly putting in good, clean gasoline, your car's going to function. If you don't do anything crazy like run into a truck. But if I wake up tomorrow and I decide, you know what, I'm done paying for gas, far too expensive in this country, I'm not putting any more gas in this tank. Your car will continue to run as long as there's gas left in that tank. But every time I turn that ignition and drive, I am depleting the resources, depleting the amount of gasoline in the tank. And the day will come when that tank is empty. And when that day comes, we know what's going to happen. I'm going to be broken down on the side of the road because I depleted the resources of gasoline in the tank. I didn't put anything back in there. And as a result, I now have a problem. Our bodies are the same way. I compare the 90 nutrients to the fuel that our body needs to function. And when we are not giving our bodies the fuel it needs to function, we're depleting. It's like we're driving the car and the gasoline tank is going lower and lower and lower. And if we're not putting anything back in that tank, then the day will come when we run out of gas. And in our bodies, we call that disease. And so it is very important. I hear people say to me all the time when I'm doing my consultations, they say, Michelle, how long I have to take these products? I say, how long you got to put gas in your car? Yeah. So I want you to explain to people the importance of maintaining the proper level of nutrients that your body needs in order to not just reverse illness, but to achieve optimal and maintain optimal health.
Yeah, well, I love that analogy, Michelle, where you're going and you're using the car because there's gas, there's oil, there's windshield wiper fluid. I mean, all these different things in our car that we can use as an analogy that, you go so long without oil in your car and your whole engine seizes, so it's a great analogy. And, to go back to your prescription, people have high blood pressure, whatever the problem is, and they go on a prescription drug, and the prescription drug isn't the root cause of the problem. So, just common sense would say, well, okay, I have high blood pressure. There's a problem. Now, what's causing this problem? Well, it's because I'm missing this drug. No, that's not true at all. What happens is, where the way a blood pressure drug works is and the analogy would be like, okay, the problem in my car is that my left tire is flat. So let's go take the air out of the right tire too, so they can both be even. I mean, that's the exact analogy that's happening with blood pressure medication. So let's block something else so that this looks even now. It's ridiculous. That is not fixing the problem. It's duct tape. The real problem is there's a nutrient deficiency. And then simply put, there's calcium, which makes our muscles contract, and there's magnesium, which makes our muscles relax. So there's only two things our muscles can do, either contract or relax. It's not rocket science here. And calcium makes the ability to contract a muscle possible, and magnesium makes the ability to, our muscles get the ability to release. Mm-hmm. So whenever you have a tight muscle, high blood pressure, high whatever, or something that's not releasing, constipation, a lot of people think, well, I need more fiber, I feel constipated. Fiber has nothing to do with it. It's something's not releasing. There's the muscles are contracting, it's not releasing, so you need more magnesium. Magnesium is a huge deficiency in people's bodies that's causing a whole host of problems. So just that, one nutrient alone can fix a whole host of problems. Yeah. But instead we turn to pharmaceutical drugs like that's the answer. And it not only is that not the answer, but it causes 3 more problems. And, the average person is not on one pharmaceutical drug. They're on multiple pharmaceutical drugs. Mm-hmm. And not only is the research inclusive on that one pharmaceutical drug they're taking, but now when you add this drug plus this drug plus this drug plus this drug plus that drug, let me tell you, there's been exactly 0 research on that combination because everyone's got a different combination of drugs they're taking. Mm-hmm. So when you hear that 493 people a day die from pharmaceutical drugs,
say that again?
Well, how can that be? They got to do some kind of research to prevent this. Well,
193 people die a day?
493 people a day die from prescription drugs. And that's not because they took the whole bottle and overdosed. It's that their doctor said, hey, here's a prescription, take 2 of these, call me in the morning. And they take 2, but they can't call them in the morning because they're dead. But, and pharmaceutical drugs are the 3rd leading cause of death. But it doesn't go reported because, and you can look up these stats in the, JAMA or Journal of American Medicine or any publication you want. This is widely known knowledge, but they don't really count it as deaths per se in the way that we count heart disease and cancer and things, because, hey, look at all the good we're doing. Even though 493 people a day die, look at all the lives we're saving because of it. And they say, and I use saving with quotes because we're just prolonging the problem by putting some duct tape over it. So it looks like the problem's better, but it's not. It's still there. And if the problem's there and you let's say you have no oil in your car and you decide to put a piece of duct tape over the little sensor that says oil problem. Yeah. Sure. The problem's gone. I don't see it, out of sight, out of mind. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean the problem is still not there. It is there. And unless you address it, it's going to cause more and more and more problems. And eventually something breaks and you get major illness, or worst case, you die. So it's about making sure, like you said, you have optimal levels of all these nutrients in your body at all times. And again, your body is constantly scanning. It has to have X amount of vitamin A, X amount of vitamin B, X amount of vitamin C, and all the way down the line of all 90 nutrients at all moments of every day, or something doesn't feel right. You'll feel tired. You'll feel something. I don't feel right today. Like I just kind of, not that you're sick, but we're kind of always sick. There's not like it's either, you're 100. Oh, well, I feel healthy right now. So I'm at 0 illness and 100% health. That's not actually true. Most of us are more like 51, 49 all the time. So 51 meaning that we're healthy and that we're not laying in bed at the moment, sick, but it's not like there's nothing bad in our bodies right now. It's just that we're the good guys, the good flora in our bodies, the good antioxidants in our bodies, those type of things are outweighing the bad, at least for 51 to 49. So we feel quote unquote good. And then when we feel quote unquote bad, we're in bed, we're sick or whatever, it's because more of the bad things in our body have taken over than good things that we have. So we want to make sure all these good things, all the nutrients, all the probiotics, all those things, the flora, all those things are at high levels. And we do all we can to keep the bad things, the free radicals, the bad bacteria at a minimum so that we are in a state of health. A state of optimal health is where we want to get everyone to.
Now, when I'm doing my health talks, I talk about the analogy of the car. One of the things that I say is, it's important that you put gasoline in the car. It's important that you give your bodies the fuel that it needs with nutrition. But equally as important, maybe even more so, is that you cannot pour orange juice down the tank of the car and expect it to function, because it was not created to function on orange juice. And a part of the problem is that we are constantly putting things into our bodies, or as we just learned from Paul, onto our bodies that are causing a problem for us. Dr. Wallach always says you cannot out-supplement a poor diet. We're going to take a break. On the other side, we're going to talk about that orange juice that you're pouring down the gas tank every day, the bad foods that you may be eating. And guess what, y'all? Some of this stuff is promoted as healthy, but yet it's killing you. So we're going to learn about that on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS, Global Paradigm Shift.
Looking for an extraordinary junior high school with caring, qualified staff and affordable tuition? Then come visit us at Elite School of Excellence, an affiliate of First Step Academy. ABECA-focused and Ministry of Education approved, we foster discipline, integrity, and wisdom while molding our students for success. Call us at 341-8846 or stop by First Step Academy Schools on Fire Trail and Soldy Roads for more information. At Brotherhood Security, your safety is our concern. Providing 24-hour surveillance, mobile patrol, event security, and more, Brotherhood Security gives you 5-star service for half the price. Feel free to WhatsApp or call us at 813-6730 or 431-9064. Brotherhood Security, giving you the best for less.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. My guest today is a dear friend and someone who I've learned so much from about health and nutrition, and that is Mr. Paul Kroto. Paul Kroto is co-founder and managing director of the Institute of Holistic Health, which just happens to be the institute through which I received my certification as a health coach. So welcome to the show, Paul.
Valedictorian.
Oh, thank you. So we're going to open the phone lines and the text line. Our phone line is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the phone line. Our text line is 828-2543. 828-2543. And of course, you can send us a message on Facebook, and you just may see your message pop up on our screen. Now, listen, people, don't let this man be here for a whole other hour and you all don't call in and ask him some serious questions. This man has amazing knowledge as it relates to how your body works and what you need to do to move closer to optimal health in 2021, because we can do it together. We can do it, people. We need to do it, especially with COVID raging out there. You really, really need to pay attention to your health and to get healthier. Now, prior to the break, I promised that we were going to talk about the stuff you're putting in and on your bodies. But before we go there, I want to touch back on the question of the quality of the gasoline that you're putting in, because that's also very important. You got to give your car the gasoline, but what's the octane level? So Paul, break that down for us.
Well, yeah, when you go to the gasoline stations, you see, different octane gas you can choose from to put in your car. And so that's the analogy I use for nutrients. When we, like you mentioned, orange juice, like I look at orange juice as having an octane level of 2. I mean, there's nothing good in it. Not only that, but it's very acidic. And worse yet, it contains sugar, a lot of sugar. Now people say, well, Paul, it's fruit sugar. That's good sugar. Listen, your body doesn't know the difference between a glass of orange juice and a Twix bar, or a candy bar. And people say, that's not true, Paul. That's can't be true. It is. Your body, it's sugar, it's carbohydrates. So it doesn't matter if it's fruit juice or if it's candy bar or donut or whatever in the world you want to use the analogy of. It's all the same thing. It's all sugar.
Let me just take a pin in that right there before you continue, Paul. What people don't realize with the juices, especially that we get in the food store, if you read that label and it says from concentrate, then you're only drinking sugar and water with some of that fruit flavor in there. If it's from concentrate, it is loaded with sugar. If you have to drink it, and Paul is saying it's not good in any event, but if you have to drink it, try to get fresh squeezed, which is more natural. But that stuff in the food store from concentrate, forget about it. That's nothing but sugar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 1,000%, Michelle. But also even the fresh squeeze, the octane level is still 2. There's not any more nutrients in fresh squeeze than the concentrate. Well, I should say that concentrate's at 0. So, but the fresh squeeze is 2. So there's not a lot of difference, but there is some.
Still not great. Okay.
Yeah. But my main point is that there's 100 million people in the United States, either diabetic or pre-diabetic. It's the biggest epidemic going. And it's all because of the amount of sugar consumed. There's some ridiculous number out there, like the average American, consumes, I want to say 8 pounds of sugar a year, but I'm way off on that. It's like 800 or some crazy number. I forget it because it's so big that my mind can't even comprehend that we could eat that much sugar on an average year. But it's crazy. I mean, next commercial break, I'll go look it up real quick. But it's in a crazy amount, and we have to pay attention to sugar. It is something that is it wreaks havoc in our bodies, and I'm very anti-sugar and carbohydrate for that matter, because I want to make sure that my blood sugar, which is one of the main systems in your body, when we look at the 4 major things that I look at with my clients, is hard tissue, anything that's hard in our bodies, bones and joints and those type of things, anything that's soft in our bodies, which is skin, organs, brain, heart, any of those type of things. And then there's blood sugar, which we just touched on here with diabetes being the biggest problem out there. And last but not least is our digestive system, which we've touched on in the show already, being the fourth major system. So those four things. And I also want to throw in, I actually have four more to go over, but one of them being hormones. We have to look at, I know we started the show talking about weight loss, and weight loss is a nutrient deficient problem, but it's also a hormone problem. The reason why people aren't losing weight is because of hormones. Now, when you eat carbohydrates, whether it be a candy bar, a glass of orange juice, or what have you, your body releases a hormone called insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone. So what insulin's job is in our body is it's released by our pancreas. It comes into our bloodstream, senses that there's excess sugar, grabs that excess sugar, tries to put it into our muscle cells. And if you've just happened to gone for a 10-mile run prior to drinking that orange juice, yes, that sugar will go back into our muscle cells, replace some of the glycogen we may have lost. But once our glycogen reserves are full, it has no other choice. Insulin has no other choice but to put it into our fat cells. People are like, you can get fat off of orange juice? That's ridiculous. That's the stupidest statement ever. It's 100% true. Your body has to put that excess sugar someplace. And even though it's fat-free, it can go into your fat cells. And fat does not make you fat. That's maybe one of the misconceptions in the world, that if I eat fat, I'm going to gain fat. No, you won't.
Your body actually needs fat.
Yeah, your body needs fat, big time. But sugar, it does not. So we eat all this sugar, we eat all these carbohydrates. Our bodies take this extra carbohydrates, puts it into our fat cells, and we get fat off of, and one of the things years and years ago was this big push towards eating fat-free things. So even things like pretzels were always fat-free. But you saw this big red label on pretzels, fat-free, as if we should turn to pretzels because they're super healthy. Well, they contain tons of gluten for one. That, again, we talked about how it wreaks havoc on your digestive system, and it makes your blood sugar levels go through the roof. So when your blood sugar levels go up, your pancreas is releasing more and more insulin. So our pancreas becomes damaged because it's being overused. And then there's little receptors on our cells that become worn out over time. And when those receptors become worn out on our cells, your body has to produce more and more insulin to try to do the same amount of work that it did before to get that excess sugar out of our bloodstream and put it into cells. So, people have, they go into this and they start taking drugs. They got to take artificial insulin to control their blood sugar, or some sort of drug to help their body deal with carbohydrates, where all you have to do is just eat less carbohydrates and you'd solve the problem. Or there's some minerals like chromium, vanadium, which aid your body in processing carbohydrates properly. If you don't have those two minerals in your body, you can't process carbohydrates properly. And you have these major health problems. And again, the major one being diabetes.
And I promise you, my audience, that throughout this year, each Wednesday, I'm going to be focusing on another health issue. So by the end of the year, you're going to have a lot of information about all of the major non-communicable diseases that are plaguing us, and how to help your body to overcome those conditions. So I promise that is going to happen this year. Sandria Fleurimond. Hey, Sandy, another one of my high school mates, and also a fellow health coach, says it's more like 150 pounds a year, Paul, in terms of how much sugar we eat. I think she's talking about every year, 150 pounds per year. Can you people imagine that? That's a whole person.
That's insane. Yeah, I knew the number was super high. I didn't know the exact number, but it's incomprehensible.
Crazy. Shavanya Strawn says, what good for high cholesterol? I think that's what Shavanya meant to say. And I'm glad she asked this because, I'm going to let the expert answer. Paul, what a lot of people don't realize is high cholesterol is a result of a blood sugar imbalance. What happens is you go to the doctor, and typically speaking, they treat the symptom. And so they say, oh, you have high cholesterol. Let's give you a pharmaceutical drug to lower the cholesterol. But I'm going to let Paul explain that. And then I want to talk about the connection between, this is so important for you all to understand. You have to be very careful when you're talking about lowering your cholesterol, because if you do it to the point where it affects the cholesterol levels in your brain, The next thing you know, you start having some cognitive problems. But Paul, go ahead and answer her question. She says, what is good for high cholesterol? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, well, let's start by saying that cholesterol is a mandatory substance in our bodies. It's saving our lives. And as you mentioned, the rise of Alzheimer's, epidemic levels of Alzheimer's going on here, dementia, from people taking cholesterol medication, Lipitor and things like that are wreaking havoc on our mind because we don't have the cholesterol, which makes your mind work. Now, the main purpose of cholesterol, I mean, of course, making your mind work is super important, but the main purpose of cholesterol, it works kind of like putty. So what happens is our arteries, we have all these arteries in our bodies, and the arteries become dry and cracked because we're not taking enough essential fatty acids. So there's two that we must have. One our bodies can actually make, but we hear about omega-3 and 6. 3 being the big one. So there's a massive deficiency in omega-3 essential fatty acids, in our bodies. And what happens is because of that massive deficiency in our bodies, our arteries are actually becoming cracked. So there's little small cracks in our arteries that start happening. And you can see those cracks, like for instance, in your heels. Like if you ever have like dry skin on the bottom of your feet, that's where it kind of shows up, that you can tell that there's some dryness going on and there's not enough. And Dr. Wallach always calls it motor oil for the body, what essential fatty acids are. So when you don't have enough omega-3 specifically in your body, there's these small cracks that come into that start forming on our arteries. And those small cracks, obviously blood can get through those. So you would actually bleed to death. But what happens is your body's extremely smart. It releases this stuff called cholesterol. And cholesterol comes inside of your arteries, works like a putty, if you will, and seals up the little crack, and you're fine. You're not having a problem anymore. So, but what happens over time is that there's all these cracks in our arteries because we don't have enough essential fatty acids that there's so much cholesterol being released and there's so much putty, if you will, inside of our arteries that it looks like, oh my God, our arteries are clogged. Well, they are, but you can't blame cholesterol for being the bad guy, because if it didn't come in there and fix those little cracks, you would have bled to death.
Wow.
So it's mandatory for the cholesterol to come in. The key is to have enough essential fatty acids so that you're not producing such high levels of cholesterol in your body to fix all these cracks in your arteries. So it's really, again, Michelle, all this gets back to what is the root cause? Energy, the number one complaint at doctor's offices. I'm tired. I have no energy. I'm tired all the time. Well, okay, I'm going to drink more coffee. That's the average person's solution to energy, being tired. Well, being tired, what's causing it? Why are you tired? It's because you're lacking caffeine. Like, that makes no sense. That's not the reason why you're tired. We got to look at, are you getting all the nutrients? Are you sleeping properly? You're doing exercise. Are you doing all the things that would give you energy, and be the root cause of why you don't have energy right now? But most people turn to Red Bull or some kind of artificial substance to give them the energy that they're looking for, when they're not looking and asking the important question, why don't I have energy in the first place? Why is my cholesterol high in the first place? And most people are told that, oh, you just have bad genetics. Your parents must have had high cholesterol. Their parents must have high cholesterol. It's all in the family. It's all in your genes, which is not true whatsoever. What happens is you take on the same habits that your parents took on or their parents took on. Therefore, you're doing the same things. You're probably just as omega-3 deficient as your parents were or their parents were. And therefore, you have the same problems, which looks like it's hereditary, but it has absolutely zero to do with hereditary. It's just the daily habits and the things that you're lacking in your diet, in your life, that are causing these problems, or bad things you're doing that are causing these problems.
That you've learned from generation to generation. I heard once the cholesterol scenario you just explained, and you did it so perfectly well. I heard it once compared to the fact that when you have all of the little cracks that you mentioned, if you imagine it's like your body is on fire, and the cholesterol are the firefighters. So whenever there's an injury, the cholesterol rushes to that spot to try to fix the problem.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the approach of the MD is the cholesterol is the problem. The cholesterol is the firefighter trying to put out the problem.
Yeah,
so
he gets blamed for the fire.
So as Paul just so brilliantly illustrated for us, fix the problem, and then you won't have the problem with the cholesterol.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we highly recommend as holistic health coaches. All about finding the cause of the problem.
Yeah.
Not treating the symptom, finding the cause of the problem. Now, I always do this when I'm doing my health talks, and I'm going to do it today because I don't want anybody to be listening to the show thinking, oh, Michelle is anti-MD. No, they have a very important role to play.
Yes.
As Dr. Peter Glidden would say, their wheelhouse, what they're good at is surgery when necessary. And I stress when necessary.
Yeah.
They're very, very good at trauma. So you get involved in some terrible accident, you get a bad laceration on your arm, drinking 90 for life ain't gonna help you at that moment.
No, if I fall off the roof, I'm going to the hospital.
You need to go see yourself a doctor.
Yeah.
And they're also good at a handful of infectious diseases. But when you're talking about chronic, long-term illness, not so much, because their approach, and they have been trained in something called allopathic reductionism. Explain that, Paul. Explain the difference between the holistic approach and the allopathic reductionist approach.
Well, Michelle, when you look at the top 10 causes of death, those are the things we got to focus on, because those are the things that you're most likely to die from. And that's what the whole reason we're trying to, what we're trying to do here is stay alive. So all of those things, doctors do not specialize in any of those things. As you mentioned, you get hit by a car or something, absolutely, you're going to see an MD. But for heart disease, cancer, all those things that are listed as the top 10 strokes, top 10 causes of death, doctors don't have an answer for it, because, and I work with doctors every single day. I have dozens and dozens of doctors I work with, and they all, say, listen, how much nutrition did you have in college, or during your becoming an MD? And they had like 4 hours of like nutrition class, where I haven't, I've been 6 years, I was solid nutrition. Like that's all we learned was nutrition, becoming a registered dietitian and also having a master's degree in nutrition. And I, since then I've studied, every single day of my life looking for the root cause of things. So as you mentioned, the question you asked, Michelle, was, looking at the human body, different angles, in that, what I believe in is that when you make the person strong, when you focus on the person, you fix the problems. The problems don't matter anymore. Problems just go away because the person is strong. But when you take on the mentality that I'm going to win this battle, often you lose the war. So there's a battle against cancer. We're going to use chemo. You're going to win. You may win some battles with that, but did you win the war? Now your immune system's completely shot. So people don't die from chemo or cancer. They die from pneumonia or some other, they die from a cold, or the flu or something, because their immune system's so shot, the littlest thing that comes along, boom, kills them. And they rack it up as died of pneumonia.
Well, that's COVID, really. Most the people who are dying from COVID are the ones who already had some other condition and were already pretty much on the edge, and all COVID did was tap and push them over the edge. So yeah, same thing. Okay, I had promised that we were going to talk about the bad stuff that you should not be putting in your body. I almost forgot that, and wow, we only have 8 minutes to go before the next break. Okay, so you cannot put orange juice down the tank of the car gas, the gas tank of the car, and expect it to function. It will break down even faster than you just not putting gas in the car. Because at least if you're just not putting gas in the car, eventually, that's going to continue to run while there's still a little bit of gas in the tank. But you go pour orange juice down the tank of your gas tank of your car, that thing will break down immediately. So We're doing that to our bodies. We're putting stuff in our bodies that have no business being there. And yet we wonder why we are so sick. We have a saying in the Bahamas, Paul, if you like it, let it kill you.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, too many of our people are taking that literally. We are killing ourselves by fork, eating things that are literally damaging our body. And we need to talk about the 12 bad foods, because some of the foods on this list, every time I do a health talk, and I show that video with Dr. Peter Glidden talking about the 12 bad foods, people are like, what? Because many of the foods on that list, they have been misled to believe are healthy. Let's talk about these 12 bad foods, the stuff you should not be putting in your body.
Yeah. So number one, as I already mentioned, is absolutely gluten.
Break that down for us: wheat, barley, rye, and oats. So people know
everything that's in beer. If there was a substance on the planet that you should absolutely avoid, it's beer, because barley, wheat, hops, and oats are the main ingredients in beer. And and again, you hear things like beer gut. Now beer actually contains zero fat. There's no fat in beer.
You don't hear about beer, but you see the beer gut, Paul.
Yeah.
It's way out there. But I want to say real quick, beer is a big one, but malts, because we drink a lot of malts in this country. Vitamalt, well, I shouldn't call the name of the brand, but malt drinks. So you got malt is made from same thing. So you gotta. I'm sorry, I know I'm hurting some people's feelings, but it is what it is. If you want to get healthier, you got to cut out the malts. But go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I just wanted to stick that in there.
Oh, that's a great point, because that's another one that, again, we're so, concerned, number one, about our digestive system, that anything that can ruin our digestive system is something we absolutely want to avoid. Now, I mentioned other things like nitrates, so there's different meats out there that, so I, again, try to go nitrate free on everything. And, foods like bacon and things, other foods that contain nitrates are extremely, extremely bad for us. There's also a lot of people will turn to oils. They'll drink, or use olive oil's got to be super healthy, right? Or yeah.
Let's explain why oil is bad, Paul. Let's break that down.
So when we eat an apple, and apple's the best example, you'll see that you take a bite of an apple, leave it there for a few minutes, and it starts turning brown. So you can see the oxidative process happening in front of your eyes, where oxygen starts hitting it. And that is happening the instant you open up a bottle of olive oil to cook with. That there's this oxidative process happening, and that's creating massive amounts of free radicals. And can we kill free radicals by taking antioxidants? Yes. But again, we talk about unable to out supplement a bad diet. There's, how many antioxidants you're going to take to overcome all this free radical damage, or all these free radicals that you're consuming. So it just makes more sense why don't we just eat less free radicals and consume less free radicals, and then we won't have to worry so much about consuming all of these antioxidants.
Yeah. And when you heat the oil, that process is accelerated Yeah. So you can't heat the oil, and that means that there's no frying, because when you heat the oil, that whole process of oxidization is accelerated to the point where it becomes really, really, really bad for the body. And so that means no oils, no fried foods, and also none of the stuff that contains oil, like mayonnaise. People, we eat a lot of mayonnaise in this country, but that's nothing more than eggs and oil. Salad dressings. Read labels. Most salad dressings on the store's shelves have oil. Luckily, there are alternatives. I use plain Greek yogurt or sour cream instead of mayo, because we like our potato salad in the Bahamas, right? you'd be surprised that you can get an equally delicious potato salad using sour cream. Think about it. If you eat sour cream potatoes, why not use it in potato salad? So yeah, you got to cut the oils out of your diet, because the oils, again, lead to inflammation. And we've already talked about the damage that inflammation causes. And so you definitely want to cut oils out of your diet. Oats, we said wheat, barley, rye, and oats. People think meal is so healthy, but that thing has gluten. And the gluten, as Paul explained, is glue. It's clogging up the gears and making it difficult for your body to absorb nutrients. So no gluten, no fried foods, no oil in the bottle. Well done red meat. Why should we avoid well done red meat?
Well, we're trying to again, there's dangers when we cook meat too much. So Dr. Wallach recommends that it gets back to the free radical damage that's done when the meat's cooked too much. So Dr. Wallach recommends rare to medium rare all the time, and I prefer all my steak that way as it is. So that's one of the things that is highly recommended. Also, we mentioned the nitrates, the carbonated beverages. When we're especially while we're eating, anything carbonated is going to go and make the absorption of nutrients even less.
Because what it does is that the bubbles in the carbonated drinks, and when we say carbonated drinks, let's break it down for them: sodas, champagne, beer, seltzer water, anything that has bubbles in it. The bubbles in that liquid actually neutralize the acid in your stomach. Mm-hmm. And so if you're drinking something that is neutralizing the acid in your stomach, this is not a good idea, because you need to have strong acid in your stomach to be able to break down the foods that you take in. And so this is why you should avoid the carbonated drinks with a meal. Now, here's one that surprises people a lot, Paul: the crispy skin of a baked potato.
Yeah, I've taken a lot of chemistry classes throughout my college and my life, but again, it's that it ends up producing more free radical damage in our bodies, and it's not necessarily, there's no cancerous substance on a baked potato skin, but it leads to the free radical damage in our bodies, and so it's fine to cook with it on there, just don't eat it after it's cooked. It's the chemical change that happens while you're cooking the skins on a baked potato, a yam, a sweet potato, any of those things that has been shown to again cause that free radical damage and be again a root cause to when that happens, then this happens, then this happens, then this happens, which is cancer. So it's just tracing it backwards and trying to find out what are the things in the world that we're doing down here that's causing a domino effect to land us up over here. So is it the olive oil that causes cancer? No. It's what happens, there's free radical damage done when the oil hits the air, and then this causes this causes this. It's a chain reaction, eventually causes breakdown in our bodies, and boom, it ends up being cancer. We call it cancer, but it's more complex than just saying, olive oil causes cancer. It's the thing that leads it to the domino effect.
All right, let's go back to a couple of Facebook messages. Sherry Morris Anderson. Sherry says, what would be a good sugar substitute sweetener other than sugar? I know what I use. I use monk fruit, but what are your suggestions?
Yeah, monk fruit, stevia is, and make sure you get organic stevia. Those are the two best ones by far to use. I love them both. Use them every day.
Okay. And then we have a comment by Shavanya Strawn. Is cold water good or warm temperature? Room temperature, I guess she's asking. What people should be drinking?
But first of all, water is extremely important. I'm big on, my company is named Elevate, and I always come up with these 8 puzzle pieces. So I have 8 puzzle pieces to health. And one of the puzzle pieces being water. We must drink at least half of our body weight in water per ounces a day. So, there's research out there that says, it's better to drink room temperature water, I'm here to tell you that bottom line is drink water and try to get as purified water as you can. I use reverse osmosis. I can also go into the energy level of your water. We can test that and to see if it's good or not. But bottom line is, 70% of our bodies, if not more, was water. So if we're not getting, me weighing 200 pounds, I'll drink at least 100 ounces a day. More times than not, I'll drink, 110, 120, a gallon of water a day.
Wow.
To feel good, especially in the winter, because we're more indoors during the winter, and there's a lot of forced heat in the house. I know in the Bahamas there's less of a problem with that, but here in New York, where I live, we're spending a lot of time in a very dry environment, and that environment is using us as like a humidifier to humidify the environment. So we want to make sure that we're drinking the minimum is that, and I people who drink 100 ounces of water a day or a gallon a day are just extremely healthy. It's absolutely one of the core things you can do for your health. It does. I mean, we could sit here for 2 hours and just talk about the benefits of water.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I have to drink more water because I understand it's good for erasing wrinkles. So us women, we're very concerned about the wrinkles. So yes, if for no other reason, drink more water. Yeah, I have my water right here. I just got to drink some more of it. All right, we're gonna take another break, and then we're gonna come. Boy, time flies when you're having fun, Paul. Can you believe
we got to do another 2 hours, Michelle?
No, right? We're gonna talk more about some specific steps that you can take. Step 1, step 2, step 3, to move closer to optimal health. People, like and share this show. Like and share this show. I see Summer Strawn saying, so informative. Thank you, Summer. But don't keep this information to yourself. Like and share the show so everyone can know what we're sharing today. Stay with us. This is GPS, your global paradigm shift.
Escape from the city life to Bacon Air Beach Resort in Pirateswell, Mayaguana. Relax in one of 16 air-conditioned rooms just steps away from the ocean. Enjoy scrumptious dishes in our waterfront dining room. Sip on a tropical cocktail, or if you must, stay connected with wireless internet. Nestled on one of the most beautiful beaches in the Bahamas, Bacon Air Beach Resort offers a unique vacation experience. For reservations, call 339-3726 or 463-0182. Want to look your best and feel even better? Visit J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa for the ultimate beauty, body, and anti-aging treatments, offering custom colors, haircuts, vegan anti-freeze treatments, silk blowouts, natural and acrylic nails, unisex pedicures, facials, and massages, all waxing services, and microcurrent therapies for anti-aging and body sculpting. J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madeira Street, telephone 326-7863.
Located on Carmichael Road, Divine Designs Hair Boutique is a haven for women and men looking for professional beauty services. Our state-of-the-art and contemporary equipment creates a relaxing ambiance for you to enjoy while we cater to you. Need a hairstylist? We cater to all types and textures of hair for care and styling. We even have a barber on duty. Need a nail tech? Our technicians provide a range of nail services, including the latest trends. Unwind in one of our massage chairs while you get your pedicure. With our reasonable rates, friendly staff, and over 20 years of experience, you will be in great hands. Call us at 823-1669 or 698-1025 to schedule your appointment. Wanna be pampered? Wanna be slayed? Let Divine Designs make your day.
Ocean blue is the best in seafood, hey, hey. Fresh out the water and affordable too, yeah. We got fish, conch, lobster, shrimp, everything you want, Ocean Blue got it. Ocean Blue, friendly and clean, best service you ever seen. Ocean Blue is the best in seafood, yeah. Fresh out the water and affordable too, yeah. Ocean Blue Seafood, we are here for you. Ocean Blue Seafood, no one else will do. Ocean Blue Seafood, located on Bernard Road. Contact us at 393-2160.
I call it perfection when elegance and taste make a connection. Every single dish is a taste of heaven. For your banquet or your wedding, who you getting? HD Catering. HD Catering.
Book Heaven's Delicacy Catering today with Chef Lachey Jones and experience the taste of heaven on earth. Call 533-9621.
HD Catering.
The freshest wave of glory to hit the Bahamas. This is the all-new Glory 93.9 FM, where God is glorified and the people of God edified.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. This is the last stretch of the show, and my guest today is Paul Kroto, who is the co-founder and managing director of the Institute of Holistic Health, which has trained thousands of health coaches around the world to be able to help people to move closer to optimal health. And I'm very proud to say that I'm a graduate of the Institute of Holistic Health. Everything that I've learned as it relates to health and wellness, I attribute to this great program that Paul and Cheryl Morley put together to teach us based on the work of Dr. Joel Wallach and you know, the impact of therapeutic nutrition on the body. And I always say therapeutic nutrition, people, because there's a big difference between, like I said earlier, the stuff you buy over the counter and the stuff that changes your body from a cellular level. And that is what we are able to do for you. And I have seen right here in the Bahamas, people be able to come off of insulin, people regrowing cartilage. I have this one client who, when he first heard me talking about this, he called me up. I was on another radio station. Sabina actually was in town, and we were doing a tour talking about this. And he called me up and he says, "Do you think this stuff can help me? I have sciatica. They're telling me that I have to have surgery on my spine. Do you think this thing can help?" I said, "I'm sure it can." So he says, "You sure you're just trying to sell me a product?" I say, "No, I'm telling you, this can really help you." He says, if this doesn't work, I'm coming looking for you. I say, "Man, I ain't hiding. You know where to find me." Long story short, he decided to give nutrition a try. Not only did he not have to do the surgery, but he regrew all of that stuff that had degenerated in his spine. And he said about 18 months later, he decided to go back to the doctor just to, compare to see what was happening. He says the doctor looks at the old MRI and the new one, and he's like, "Well, why are you here?" He said, "I just wanted to see if what I was doing was working." He says, I don't know why you came in. You're from what I can see, your spine has healed by 75%. Real true story. And so I have seen some amazing things happen just by introducing therapeutic nutrition into the body. And I often tell people, if what you have been doing was working so well, you wouldn't still be sick. Don't be afraid to try something else if what you're doing is not working. Because one of the things that I've learned, I think I was watching a video, I think it was Ben Fuchs, pharmacist Ben Fuchs, who was on a show that I did some months back. Man, I got to get him back on. He was brilliant. But one of the things that he talks about is the fact that medicine or pharmaceutical medicines they block systems. They don't build up systems. They don't get systems to work. Their role is to block a system from working. And if you understand that, then you will understand that as long as you are relying on pharmaceuticals, you will never achieve the optimal health you're looking for, because all that is doing is controlling a system, blocking a system, as opposed to fixing a problem. Can you break that down for us, Paul?
Absolutely. And I do also address your comments about becoming a holistic health coach. You know, one of my big things in life, I'm very much into exercise, and people they're looking for exercise advice. They go to the gym and they want to hire a personal trainer because they're not sure what to do. So I was, these people, guys and women out there, they work out for a while and they think they know everything there is about working out. So they become a personal trainer, and they're not certified. They really don't know how to do it properly, how to train other people, and they end up hurting them, and doing more harm than good. So I'm always telling people to look for certifications, look for someone who's certified personal trainer, some sort of certification. The same thing goes with health. We mentioned if something major happens, you get into a car accident or something, of course you go see a doctor. But if you're looking to fix any kind of health problems, you want to find a certified health coach. And I believe in certified holistic health coach, because they're looking at you from a whole standpoint, not just one spot and focused on that, but looking at all the whole being of you. And that's what Michelle is certified in, and myself and Cheryl Morley also created this Institute of Holistic Health. And if you want to find out more about it, you can go to instituteofholistichealth.com, learn about there. But get back with Michelle. She can explain more to you. However, Michelle, you want them to do that. But we're looking for more people. I mean, this world needs more people like you, Michelle. You are, you're part of the army out there, and then the crusader that is helping people learn the truth and learn how to actually solve and fix these health problems once and for all without the use of pharmaceutical drugs. So we need more people like you on this planet. So I know, Michelle, you are an advocate for the program, and congratulations on your success in graduating. But I know that you help other people become you, and that's wonderful. And we need more health coaches out there. So if you're interested in that, get back to Michelle, and she can explain more about how to go about doing that. But we need more people spreading the good word and how to solve these problems naturally.
Here's what I want you to do, people. If you have an interest in becoming a health coach, or if you have a health condition that you want to address, message me, not in the comment section under this broadcast, but go to the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page where you're watching this, if you're watching on Facebook, and send me a private message. Say your name, your contact number, your issue that you're dealing with, or I'm interested in becoming a health coach. We have a whole team of health coaches, actually, and I'll be able to pair you up with someone who can help you. It'll be either myself or someone else on the team who will be able to help you to achieve optimal health, because we've all been trained, all know what to look for. And pretty much all we do is they have created this health evaluation system. I have to tell you all about it. And then in the last 14 minutes, we're going to talk about step by step by step. Paul created this health evaluation system. And the way it works is you get questions, 4 sets of 20 questions that are all based on the 4 categories of disease that you would have heard him talk about earlier. It's all about your symptoms. So when people come to me all the time and they say, Michelle, what would you give me for this? Or what would you give me for that? I said, sweetie, we don't believe in throwing products at people.
Right.
You have to do a full health evaluation because everybody's different. We believe every vertebrate needs the 90 essential nutrients. Yes, that's universal. That's the foundation. But apart from that, your body is different from my body. Mm-hmm. And so what we do is we get you to take this brilliant health evaluation that Paul created. And what that does is once you put your symptoms in there, it tells us exactly what's going on in your body. Mm-hmm. So now we know what to do to help you specifically to move closer to optimal health. Paul, I cannot thank you enough for that system, because what I love about it is it eliminates opinion.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I get in front of a client. Well, I had this one. Sometimes people are in denial and they don't like their results. And I had this one client one time, I'm doing the consultation and his numbers were not impressive. And I said, well, based on your results, you have a major deficiency in the hard tissue category. This is why you're having problems with your knees and the joint pain and the back pain and all this kind of stuff. And he says to me, well, that's your opinion. And I said, no, that's your results.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one that filled out the health evaluation and asked him, do you have this business? And
you get angry at me? Your body is telling you.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, your body is talking to you by these symptoms that you're experiencing. Your body's saying, hello, hello, help, pay attention to this. And all we do through this system, it's a brilliant system. All we do is look at your results. And the way it's structured, it tells us what category you may be dealing with. And we can look at that and say, okay, based on your results, this is the nutrition that you need. It's a brilliant system because it totally eliminates opinion. This has nothing to do with my opinion. This has everything to do with the results that you put in there. So don't get angry at me if your numbers are not great.
Right.
So, okay, we only got 12 minutes. Actually, 12 minutes left in the show, Paul. So let's give people specifics. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. If I want to get in better shape, I want to lose a ton of weight. I want to get off of high blood pressure medication. what are the first things I need to do to become healthier in 2021?
Well, as you just said, message Michelle on Facebook and get in touch with her, and she'll get you in touch with a certified holistic health coach that can really help you solve these problems, that can get to the root cause of these. They're going to meet with you, hear what's going on with you one-on-one. They're going to give you that health evaluation that Michelle just mentioned, and they're going to the real key to the health evaluation is not only does it figure out what nutrients you're missing, if any, but it also gives you something called a health score. So if you can't measure it, you can't manage it.
Yeah,
in my opinion, and that's pretty common sense. But with weight, you get on a scale, you can see a number. Now, if you want the number to go down, we have a basis to know whether what we're doing is working or not. So with this evaluation, one of the key things you get is a health score. And I love it. I really wanted to make this so that you could wrap your mind around where am I at and with my health? Because it's such a, kind of a weird topic in that you can't really put a number to it until now. Where we give you that health score. And listen, if it's 43, don't be upset about it. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, it's just, you haven't probably taken care of yourself for 30 years or longer or whatever. We can't fix you in 30 days, by the way. This is a long-term program where we got to rebuild your system and replenish it, as Michelle mentioned. But at least we have a starting base to know what the number is. And it's just the number. Don't, I tell people who get on a scale and they weigh way more than they want to, don't get upset about it. It's just the result that you got. If you don't like the result, we can fix it. But our goal is to get everyone to get a health score of 100. So anything over 90, we consider optimal health. So we want to get everyone over 90, and we absolutely can. I don't care who is listening to this right now. We can help you. The potential is there, even for you. And I know some of you out there are saying, well, could be for somebody else, but not for me. I'm too far down. I have too many problems. We can fix anything. So the body can heal itself. I mean, you go get a paper cut. You got this big cut on your hand or something. 3, 4, 5 days later, look what happens. It starts to heal. Your body can heal itself. If it's given the right things, it can absolutely heal itself. God created this incredible thing called the human body. It is extremely smart. So you have the potential to have the best body ever. But you got to give it what it needs and do the right things and take that holistic approach towards keeping that score at 90 or above. So one of our holistic health coaches can absolutely help you do that. And, or again, like you said, become a holistic health coach and help other people do it. So that's very rewarding. I love doing things like this, Michelle. Being on shows like this and helping you is so rewarding to me and fulfilling because I'm able to impact people. And I think the strongest way possible, which is impacting their health. So that is absolutely where you want to start, is getting that health score. And then the certified holistic health coach will get you on a program, a holistic program. So it's not just one thing. One of the 8 things we really look at being a holistic health coach is, we mentioned diet already, what you're eating, what you're consuming, the supplements that you need to take to make sure you're getting all 90 essential nutrients or whatever deficiencies you're having. Water, we mentioned that already as being critical. So they'll put you on how much water you need to be drinking a day. Exercise is a critical piece of the puzzle. You got to be doing exercise every day, getting your body in motion. Sleep is a huge topic. I think it's 80 million people have a sleep problem. It's enormous. So that's really where energy starts from, is good quality sleep. You're getting that deep sleep. A lot of people are sleeping, 6, 7, 8 hours, but is it deep sleep? Is it good sleep? And so that's what will help you do is get into that deep sleep stage where you're actually recovering and feel awesome when you wake up. We go into reducing toxic load and how to do that and how to get the toxins out of your body that are already there. So we have a big detox program that we put you on. And not only that, but a flora restoration program where we're restoring all the flora in your body and building up more good bacteria in your body as opposed to bad bacteria, and how to reduce bad bacteria in your body. But we also go into emotional things, Michelle, like positive thoughts. I mentioned that those 80,000 thoughts a day or 65,000 negative thoughts a day cause a lot of problems. So we want to make sure that we have things in place to help actually rewire your brain so that you're thinking more positive thoughts throughout the day. And those thoughts are going to affect your emotions. And Michelle, there's so much research out there that most diseases are caused from emotional mismanagement, mismanaged emotions. I mean, when you're just always in that negative emotional state and there's fear and anxiety and all those things that we talked about, producing acid and all other things, negative things that it does to our bodies, we're finding more and more through research that it's our negative emotions that are causing these illnesses. So we go in far in depth into emotional management. And that's something that I've done in my own life and helped thousands of other people, tens of thousands of other people fix. And that has been a huge, huge part of what we do, being a holistic health coach.
And I just want to say I really appreciate it, because I learned so much about myself and my emotions and the wounds from the past that I was carrying that were impacting my behavior today. And listen, oh my God, thank you, Paul. Thank you. You and Cheryl Morley for putting together that Institute of Holistic Health, because you are truly changing lives all around the world. And it's an 8-unit course for those of you, because I've already seen some people reaching out saying they're interested in becoming a health coach. It's an 8-unit course. It's all done online. You do it at your speed. So you can do it in 8 hours, 8 days, 8 weeks, whatever it takes. And then I think there are 3 graduation ceremonies per year, Paul?
There's 4. We do it every 90 days. There's we do ongoing continuing education classes literally every single day.
Yes.
So there's a lot to the program. It's very, very affordable. We're not here to charge a lot of money for it. We just want people like you out there, good people that want to make an impact and want to be in this health and wellness industry, which is awesome. And if there's any industry to be in 2021, if you're looking for an additional income source, there's nothing better than being a health coach, in my opinion, because so many people need this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I approached people years ago and, Michelle, I into that. Boy, they calling me now.
Yeah, they are.
Thing, because everybody's concerned about COVID.
Yeah.
So listen, you have promised to help me get Dr. Wallach on the show. You haven't forgotten that, right?
I've not forgotten that.
Good, because I am working people to bring Dr. Joel Wallach on this show. He said something during the last graduation ceremony that was recently held for the latest class of Institute of Holistic Health graduates. And I was like, mind blown when he made a connection between gluten and COVID deaths.
Sure.
OMG. I came off that call and I sat there for about half an hour just thinking about that. I was like, oh my God. And then I reached out to you and I said, Paul, you got to help me get this man on my show. So I'm hoping that he will be on soon on one of our Wellness Wednesdays show. People, this is serious. This is serious. If we understand what we need to do to minimize the risk of COVID. And quite frankly, you don't need to be worried about what's in the vaccine or is it going to harm you, because your body is designed to be able to deal with this stuff.
Yeah.
If you give your body what it needs, your body is designed. That's what's called an immune system. And if your immune system is working well, you ain't got to worry about all that stuff.
Yeah.
There are too many people walking around now in fear, and that fear is doing nothing more than contributing to the weakening of their immune system. Yeah. It's like a vicious cycle. So we got to get it together, folks. If you get to the place where your body is healthy, where your immune system is functioning and balanced, you don't have to worry about COVID. You don't have to worry about type 2 diabetes. You don't have to worry about high blood pressure. All of that stuff, because your body was designed by the ultimate creator to heal. And I don't care how far gone you are in whatever condition you're dealing with right now. If you're still here and you're breathing, you can heal. I'm telling you, you just have to give the body what it needs to function. And I promise you, once you do that, then it's all going to work out for you. Okay, so let's take a final couple of comments. Sherry Morrison Anderson is saying, wonderful show. Thank you for responding. Thank you so much for Sherry for being here. Bertha Smith says, very informative show. Glad you enjoyed it, Bertha. Y'all like and share this show like is going out of style. Make sure everybody gets this information, okay? And Merlene Evans, hello, Michelle. Great show. Keep it up. Thank you, Merlene. Listen, I appreciate all of you guys for the support that you are showing by tuning in every day. A lot of people thought that when the other show was canceled, that was the end. But God has a way of turning what people meant for bad into something good. And I see something amazing happening here at Glory 93.9 FM. So thank you guys so much for being a part of it. I promise you, we're going to have some great shows ahead of us. And if you keep tuning in every day, you're going to walk away enriched with more information to help better your life. Paul Kroto, I love you, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Love you too. Thank you so much. It was so awesome doing the show with you.
I appreciate you. And I will see you at 3:00.
Okay, great. Bye, everyone.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care, everybody. Yes. Message me on the official Facebook page, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can to help you sort out your health issues or help you get started on the road to become a health coach. That's going to do it for the show today. This is GPS Global Paradigm Shift. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. I'll see you guys tomorrow.